Welcome, folks. Episode 5. This is the first, if the camera doesn't cut out, this is the first YouTube. So welcome, audience of YouTube.
It's exciting.
It is exciting for us. We're progressing in the world. Right, get that table in here. What?
What's the beer?
I'm not going to touch the beer. Right, so what are we having this time, Graham? Beer-wise?
We're having
Vienna lager.
yeah.
Lager.
Can I have a Vienna style lager, please?
What is a Vienna style lager? Is there a...
Toastier and maltier than the normal one. A bit more depth of flavour.
Well, it definitely looks like a deep colour.
It's definitely deeper. Usually it's a bit darker. Not a style of beer that I know very much about because I by and large don't like them.
Vienna lagers?
If there's any beer,
Is this why this is the most abundant one in that box?
yes,
left?
it's the reason why there's so many left in the fridge.
Oh, I know you, and you're gonna probably. Right, straight away, I'm thinking this would make a class batter for your fish.
that it's ideal for that, I would imagine. It does have that kind of smell. Do you know what it'd be class for as well? It'd be class in a stew or something like. Deglaze the pan.
Yeah, well, you're more a stew man. I would be using that for a wee bit of beer batter.
A bit of batter.
Get a bit of cod off the fish, man.
I was just thinking.
Drink cooks down on Saturday. Bit of cod, get it home. Bit of flour, bit of beer. Get your batter in. Stick her in the pan. Put your teapot.
Oh shit.
Family jam. Okay, so immediately that just tastes like, I'm getting the vibe of flat Coke.
Yeah.
You ever have Coke that's flat and you put it in the fridge and it's chilled, but you're like, okay, well it's Coke, but it's flat, but it's chilled, and I don't want to waste the Coke.
Yeah. So you just drink.
So you drink it anyway. That's initially straight away.
It's pretty much exactly my thoughts. Like
Or like a flat fizzy drink.
it's like
It's like just about to lose the fizz.
flavour wise as well, and it's not true of all Vienna lagers, but this one in particular, like it's so like it's such a superficial like beer in that when you drink it you get a taste like a big explosion of bang and then it's gone. There's nothing, it just doesn't linger, there's nothing there.
That's true.
So you just have to keep, to get any kind of taste you have to keep throwing it in.
Yes.
It's not really
to
doing
get
anything.
to get any joy.
Yeah. But it's malty. It's sort of toasty. Not that toasty though, but like a little.
I can tell the toast
toasty.
what you're trying to get. As I'm going, excuse me. As I'm going, it's kind of getting worse. But I'd have to say, as far as the beers go, for me,
Aye, for you, yeah.
this is the best one so far.
Oh really?
Woo. So like, just because it doesn't stay in my mouth, literally for the exact reason that you've just said.
Well, I've just said that it's not great.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it doesn't stay there. It gets the. I was like, oh, you drank me. See you later. Like
I get it.
I'm not gonna be imposing on your life anymore. That's exactly what I want for my.
It's the.
That in fact, that's essentially. This is essentially, if you had to have a non-alcoholic beverage style alcoholic beverage, is exactly what this is. So, for example, I have my tin of Coke here. Not a sponsor. That. We don't want to go down the Zoella route and get fucking sued.
Oh, can you imagine what would happen if
I know, but
Coca-Cola found out we were...
Exactly. We don't have over 10 million subscribers yet, but like we don't have that, so like
Yeah.
they're not gonna fuck it, put us in jail. Anyway, so like if I drink Coke, it's like, oh fuck, Coke's so good, and then I set it down, and it doesn't like, it's not like I love Coke because it stays in the back of my throat for like 5 minutes after I drink it. Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
Same with cider. Cider doesn't fucking stay in the back of your throat. You drink it, you have a nice flavour, it's gone.
We all, that's what it's built for, like.
Yeah, so this, it feels like this is built in a similar way, would you not say?
Yeah. It's just very, yeah, I guess so. It's the kind of...
It doesn't even taste like beer. It doesn't taste like beer.
It definitely tastes like beer, just beyond a lager.
Only after a bit. But as I say, this is like a watered down version of an IPA. That's what it tastes like to me. Like, take an IPA, water it by half. This is what you're getting.
Yeah, take the brewing process for a lager and be a bit more involved, and that's what you got.
Right, well, I still don't like it, so
Yeah,
it's still going to sit over there. And I have to... I'm driving home, so I'm not going to do any more than a couple of sips.
so close. You don't want yours?
No.
Oh no. Oh no. What are we gonna do about that? Oh, it's a disaster.
Standard.
Oh,
It's actually important to note, these glasses are perfect size for one bottle.
they are.
One bottle equals one glass.
It's almost as if that was
It's almost as if that was the intention of design.
excellent.
Okay, so I kind of sprung this episode on Graham and he said he didn't have anything to talk about, but did you find anything? Well, I'm going to bring up something that's happened in the news. Oh, well, it's actually on the One Show and it actually angered me to the point of fuming. And, you know, so basically the whole gist of the story goes, oil-based plastics are really bad for the environment. I'm going to put it out there. Stupid Proof Podcast supports the abolishment of all oil-based plastics in replacement for hemp-based plastics as they dissolve into the environment without any trace. Okay? So, McDonald's have took out a cardboard straw. And this is happening all over the place now. So, anywhere, I think even Starbucks maybe
Yeah, I think so.
are starting to bring in cardboard straws for their chilled beverages.
Yeah.
Stuff like that there. This is happening and this would be a thing. I went to McDonald's, hadn't had McDonald's in a while. Come out, open straw was cardboard. I was like, yes. Finally, you just need to get a hemp plastic top for their cardboard cup and then their entire cup. Basically all of their stuff is recyclable then once you get that the tops of the cups fixed. So, great. Loved it. It was like, oh, I've never had a cardboard straw before. Well, I think I have, but let's see what these things are like. Oh, fucking unreal. They're amazing, right? Class.
Yeah, they're grand.
Grand, 100%. Drunk my drunk. Drank my drink.
Yeah.
Ate my food. Happy days, right? Rolling around the One Show this night during the week.
Right.
And these people, these lowlives of society,
Oh, here we go.
are complaining about McDonald's having a cardboard straw
Right, because they like the plastic one.
because they like the plastic ones
Yes.
and it changes the taste of the drink. They don't like my drink with plastic straw because if I leave my drink for over half an hour, it disintegrates in the drink. Don't leave your drink for half an hour and it won't disintegrate.
But Chris, the cardboard straw feels funny in my mouth.
Don't. They're saying the cardboard changes the taste of the drink. It doesn't. It doesn't. And guess what? You absolute idiots. You idiots. What do you think the cup is made out of? Cardboard. The cup is cardboard in McDonald's.
Aye.
So if the straw is changing your drink, why isn't the cup changing your drink? Because the straw's made out of the same stuff the cup's made out of. So,
Well, it's a different type of cardboard, Chris. Surely. I don't know. Probably not at all. No, I don't know. People baffle me.
like if you leave the cup, like I've left my McDonald's drinks, like the cup is cardboard. I've left my drinks in my room overnight
Aye,
and the cup hasn't disintegrated.
Aye.
So,
Well, people are just wild. They don't like change, man.
I don't like them, they're disgrace.
They didn't say the word disgrace.
Yes, there's persons like they're awful, they should change back. That's literally what people were saying on the street. I was like, do you know what? Do you know what? Do you know what? Go away and get castrated because your idiocy should not be fucking sustained in the gene pool. Honestly. See people. I hate people.
Do you not
I
think...
love the viewers though. So,
Smooth.
yeah.
Seamless. Do you not think, though, that this whole plastic straws thing is like an aggrandized, individualized guilt maneuver by the government? Not in like a conspiracy way, but in like a general in order to make people, or in order to draw attention away from the incredible amount of like damage that large factories and industry is doing to the environment, what we'll do is we'll place individual guilt on all the members of the public by going, we're changing your straws so that you cause less damage to the environment.
I don't think McDonald's are taking that stance as a company.
Not McDonald's, but like
McDonald's changed the straws because an 8-year-old wrote to them and said the straws are getting stuck in turtles' mouths.
no,
Can you please?
see, that sounds like the biggest pile of absolutely.
But it's true
right.
because they have the letter and they showed it. It's like, well, this.
Anyone could have read. I could have read. I'd read it with my left hand. I could be it.
Yeah, I know that, but to be honest, they were probably in the transition period. Put it like this: I know for a fact that things don't happen overnight, and
Of course they don't.
just because somebody writes a letter doesn't mean that letter is going to mean anything. So, like, basically, I'm pretty sure they were probably in the transition period of moving to cardboard straws anyway, and this letter happened to come in, or else one of the CEOs got their 8-year-old daughter to write it.
Yeah.
And then they said, look at this 8-year-old, we're changing because of her. And it's like, okay, fine, it's a market ploy, everyone can see that, but, you know, forget about your marketing, forget about the thing. The main thing is that they are changing, they are disintegratable now, so I'm happy bunny. I think it's great. These bracelets, these two, are for 4Ocean, and they're 20 quid like a month if you do a subscription thing. But I only paid like 1 or 2 months, and basically 20 quid gets you the bracelet, and the bracelet is like all recycled material, and that 20 quid goes towards £1, because it's an American company, they do everything in pounds rather than kilos. £1 of plastic, which is a lot. Plastic's light. £1 of plastic, that funds £1 of plastic getting removed from the ocean and recycled. So I think it's a great cause, and I really like it. And they support different things. So like they'll donate to a certain amount of it to certain conservations every month. So the first one was just a standard, you just remove plastic from the ocean, happy days. The second one I done was they remove plastic and plant trees to sustain to sustain like sort of environments that have experienced deforestation and shit. And then there's one for like sea turtles, and there's the third one I bought, which broke unfortunately, was the preservation of the what do you call it, Great Barrier Reef. So in Australia, so like they do different things, and I think they're great. And if you want to sponsor us, please sponsor us, because I love yous.
It's a really cool cause, and it's funny you should mention that actually. Whenever I was buying this watch, they personally assured me that the maker of the watch would punch a baby seal in the face right after he was finished.
Well, that kind of is a contra to my...
No, I just wanted to know that animal cruelty was being done on my behalf. Is that not kind of similar to what you were talking about?
No.
Sorry, I wasn't listening.
Nice satire.
I enjoyed it. I
So,
spent
yeah.
most of the time thinking about it, to be honest.
So what's new with you, Graham?
So I was playing a gig in Belfast last night, and the bouncer is really sound. And it's one of the oldest bars in Belfast, and he's a proper old school. Like,
Beatles?
no, it's not
Right,
Beatles.
okay.
Is proper old school, like bouncer on the door as well. Like, he's like a proper like big West Belfast, chest always puffed out, kind of like. And he was really dead on. He was really lovely. But I finished the gig, and I was sitting outside having my like post sort of gig in Belfast pint, just to kind of chill out after it all, because I can. And he was just sitting there. He slid up beside me, and he was chatting to me. And he just
Slid up? Like, you know,
like slid down the slid down the bench, like slid up beside me.
Right, that's really weird already, but go ahead.
Oh, not like, not creepily, but just slid.
Oh, there'd be a point of it, like,
you took out a bit weird, as if you went. Yes.
Like, I just like I picture in my head the cartoons where it's like someone sitting like that and they literally just move across, like Johnny Bravo, like just move across the seat.
He's about 6'2". He's not sliding anywhere. Not noticed. Yeah, he popped up alongside.
With the flute tube, like.
That's the one. He made that exact noise as he came on. Sitting talking to a girl I know who's from Kuwait, and
Kuwait?
yeah,
Is that a country?
that's the country. Yeah.
Right.
She speaks Arabic,
Okay, right.
so we're all having
A
this.
girl you know that speaks Arabic?
Yes.
Right, this is new to me, but go ahead.
Oh, fair enough. Well, I do have other friends, Chris.
I see how it is. Oh, sorry.
Anyway, yes. So there's a break in the conversation, and I turn around, and he's been sitting here silently for a while. So I'm thinking, he wants in. Like,
Yeah.
he's sitting here because he wants to kind of come in, and I'm like, what's your crack? Blah 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 blah. And he turns around, and he just goes, nothing really, mate, to be honest. But do you mind fucking off? Do you? I'm like, excuse me. He's like, not being rude or nothing, but like,
Oh no, but you definitely are. That's literally what I'm like. But you definitely are being rude. Like I hate to break.
but yeah. So he's like, I'm not being rude or nothing, but like, can you just like all go away? Because I want to go home. So that's fine. And like, we all go a bit of like a wee bit of a laugh, and then we're having this chat with your girl from Kuwait, like.
See, I'm wild. I just there'd be part of me that wanted to stay longer than I intended.
I stayed until like 1 o'clock.
Oh,
The closing,
class.
the lights come on, and I was like,
Class.
I'm finished and I'm away.
Oh, but like I just like left my pipe. Even if there's a mouthful left it all night till it was right,
Until it was 1 o'clock.
and then I'd be like, oh, closing. I could have finished this 3 hours ago.
But anyway, this is where this guy's class. Sitting having this chat about how, you know, like different like slang and sayings from Northern Ireland and how they would translate into like Arabic and how that would work. And we stumbled upon this really funny coincidence where I says about, you know, he's some man for one man. You know that?
No.
He's some man for one man. Like,
As in like he's unreal.
he does what, yeah,
He does a wild lot of work.
quite a lot of stuff for one fella. Like,
Okay.
So I tell her that, and she just goes, "We have that exact saying in Arabic." And I was like, "No, you don't." She's like, "No, word for word, literal crossover translation, and that never happens in Arabic. Like they have so many, their English translations into Arabic and back to English come out like
mental.
that make absolutely no sense. Stuff about saying goodbye, it literally involves a table. You know what I mean? Like it makes no sense." And she goes, "No, that word for word. He is some man for one man is a direct translation into Arabic."
So I'm assuming you put your clever and you went to Google Translate and you typed in "he's some man for one man" and translated to Arabic and then translated that back into English.
No, so what I did was I turned right around to the happiest bouncer in Belfast.
Okay, yeah.
And I goes, "Are you hearing this? This is lethal." And he goes, "What?" And I told him. He wasn't paying attention. And I told him, and the whole time I'm buzzing, like this is class, this is the best.
There's a part of you knew this would annoy him.
I did.
In fairness,
I did,
right?
no. So he turns around and he just stares at me the whole time and he just goes, "I actually think I heard that in a poem once." You sarcastic we hear you.
Oh, bouncers are wild sarky.
And then he turned around and he goes, "I have one better for you, right? You've never heard of this one."
Oh no. Like I can only imagine.
And he turns around and he goes, "There's this wee saying, and it's a very Belfast localised thing, and it's something that like is pretty much centralised just to bouncers, right? You know what I mean? But there's this wee thing that we say sometimes when people will not get out of the bar." And then he tells us to fuck off.
Do you want to fuck off?
Yeah. And he's like, "How do you translate that into Arabic?"
I just heard I was like, "Fuck, you're one wild cunt," but
I love him dearly. And he just sat there, and I just was like, "Do you mind if I had one more pint?" And he was like, "Right, you can have one more pint." One.
I don't know, why are you asking him permission? It's not, the bar's not closed yet.
Because it was being like, you know, sound.
What? He's not being sound to you, so what the fuck would you
He
say?
was being funny. I don't know. There's something to talk about.
Woo!
Here we go. Just popped into my mind right there now.
I did it in court.
So you did.
So to put some context down, literally last year in like, it was basically like the start of January. I was driving to Belfast and I was in a wee bit of panic, right? Because I had submitted a bit of work, coding, And when you're coding, when you're submitting, you have to give them the script that you wrote, obviously, so they can mark the script as well as the thing. So, and make sure that everything runs, and they'll run it through it, I'm assuming, and they'll see if it works and all that kind of shit. So, I had sent the wrong file the night previous, and that was the deadline was midnight. So I emailed them the next day, which was Saturday, and I was like, oh fuck, I done that, emailed you the wrong file, I'll email you the right file today. So I was driving down to Belfast at 11 o'clock in the morning. I got up the night before at like 11:30 and submitted it at 12. So I woke up, like I was already late to bed, woke up, went to, so on my way through Dungannon, I accidentally drove into the back of the car. Right? So, what had happened was, coming up to the roundabout to go onto the motorway, this car was rightly ahead of me. I don't drive right up people's ass, so I was rightly ahead of me. It was one of those days the sun's low in the sky, and I was kind of looking around the roundabout. So the car's there, steering wheel in here. I was kind of looking off around the roundabout as I was approaching the giveaway.
Yeah.
And there was nothing on the roundabout. There was absolutely nothing there. So in my brain, I'm saying, right, there's nothing on the roundabout. This car will surely have gone. It's a giveaway sign, it's not a stop sign, right? So giveaway, basically, if you come up to a giveaway in basic driving terms, if you come up to a giveaway sign, you basically are giving way to traffic that's already there.
Yes.
If there's no traffic there, you can just mosey on and don't stop.
Aye.
At the stop sign, you have to stop, handbrake on, all the rest of it, right? So, essentially, I was like, right, they'll be gone because there's nothing there. Look back, oh fuck, they're not gone, and I'm quite close to them now. Applied the brakes, was a wee bit too late, literally a wee knock forward, couple of feet, happy days, right? It's like, oh fuck. Husband gets out of the passenger seat of the car, and I had almost fucking driven to them this traffic lights before this. That's why I give them so much space. I was like, fuck me, like I was a close call.
Yeah.
On the went. He come out, and the first thing he said to me was, you were close before. And I was like, paying a while to pay attention there for a passenger. Some shame. So that was alright. I was like, I'm sorry, my fault. Nothing I can do about it. Shook his hand, apologised. Checked the car. There wasn't, basically, to get the kinetics of how cars work nowadays, back in the day it used to be one big solid bit of metal, like everything was metal, everything was steel or whatever it was. And it was like basically like, oh, good strong interior, fucking good strong exterior, you get crashed into something, you'll be protected.
Yeah.
But really, in terms of kinetic energy, that's like putting an egg in a stainless steel box and shaking it about.
Right.
We all know what's going to happen, right? So as obviously kinetic energy and everything and the knowledge of science and all that shit has got better, now cars are designed to crumple to take the impact. A bit like, when you have cities that are in earthquake zones, they have special sort of foundations that move, so that they're not rigid, solid rigid, so that the shakes will literally disintegrate the building.
Right.
The building kind of shakes with it, and it kind of get rid of the energy, so the building doesn't completely rack itself.
Yes.
Same principle. If you get hit nowadays in a car, the car body is designed in a way to crumple in and absorb the impact, so that you don't actually move in your seat or move less than if you got hit on a big stainless steel car and someone drives into you. Your whole body's like in the whiplash and all that jazz, right? So that's the thing. There's plastic car, light metals, crumple in specific ways, designed in specific angles, all that jazz. There's a plastic bumper on this car, and my car has a plastic bumper, even though my car's a wee bit older than this car. Got out, looked at my car, I was like, fuck, I bet this bumper is in shit, even though it was tiny, a tiny wee knock. Looked at my bumper, no damage. Looked at their bumper, my perception, no damage. But their bumper was quite dirty, so well, not quite, it was a wee bit dirty. So I wiped with my hand, sending the dirt off just to see if there's any scratches or whatever was there. What was there was the equivalent of, if you can imagine, if you take a plastic bottle and you wheeled it off the ground,
Aye.
and
The wee scuff.
it scuffs the top of the cap.
Aye.
That's the depth of the knot of the wee chip, the wee scrape that was in the paint or in the plastic.
Yeah.
A wee tiny, like, wee tiny like sort of plastic where the plastic has kind of got
Aye.
chipped more or less. So I kind of got him to, I could tell that the sort of the motions were leveling off. Happy days. The driver gets out, who's his wife. She comes up. You were close before. Same thing again. I was like, fucking hell, like, come on. Like, why would you say that to me? Stay away. Like, sure, you're more concerned about your car.
Yeah.
So immediately, sort of in the back of my head, it's like, that's a bit strange they said that.
Yeah.
And she took a while to get out of the car. So, not a while, she got out a couple of minutes after he did. So, I basically already talked to him and we had kind of conversed a wee bit, and I said, like, look, I'll give you my phone number, call me, I'll get the price, I'll pay you, all the rest of it, avoid the insurance. So, she got out, blah blah blah, I'm going to have to report this, I report away, 101, called the police helpline. She talked about it, oh, there's nobody injured, blah blah, nobody's injured, right?
Aye.
Yeah, he goes, let me talk to the other driver. She gave her phone to me. I said, and he goes, there's nobody injured. And I was like, right, grand, no worries. And he goes, only send people out, ambulances out if there's somebody injured. There's nobody injured, so just exchange your details, walk away amongst yourselves.
Yeah.
Happy days. I took a picture of his car, he took a picture of mine, and I took a picture of both because he was doing it more because he wanted my license plate.
Aye.
But I was doing it because I know this is going to go somewhere, and I want to document the damage because he didn't take a picture of his own car.
Yeah.
I took a picture of his car. So I took the picture of his car, the picture of mine, and so I have the documentation of the damage at the scene. So basically, this went down. Insurance paid out £1,000 for this wee tiny. I was like, that's extortion.
Yeah.
Our premium went up a wee bit, about £200 or £300. That was alright. Fall was the end of it. Roll around to about February this year. Letter comes through the door. Such and such a one is putting in a claim, personal injury, £10,000.
What are you doing?
My dad comes in to me, have you got £10,000 to pay? It's like, what? What are you on about? He's like, putting in for a personal injury claim. Fucking tired it wouldn't be over. It's like, fuck me. Right, so that was alright. Now, this is a year later, bear in mind. So basically we've had two policies in the way that it's worked out for us. We've had one policy where it went up, and then another policy where our policy was just renewed. And then there recently, and then so we're on two policies away from this accident happening now at this point. So basically at this point we're not affected.
Yeah.
But AXA, who was our insurer at the time, was challenging the claim. So basically my dad rung them, told the whole deal. They said, right, that's bullshit. Don't worry about the £10,000. They just put that down on the sheet as a number. Time passes. No word. No word. No word. No word. Letter comes through the door. Christopher McInerney. Opened it up. I was like, please contact you're provided. We need you to go to court. It's like, right. So I called. Please call and confirm that you've received this letter. So I called them up. Told them the whole story, and well, they basically like, well, we know the story, we've got the pictures. It's not a thing about you not having your fault because you accept responsibility. But as far as driving law, if you drive into the back of someone, it's your fault.
Yeah.
So basically, it's basically like they want to refute the claim and say basically, this is not that good, or like, it's not likely that she's got this injury and they paid out the money at the time and that should have done that. That's basically their approach. And I kind of agreed that, to me, I felt like you couldn't possibly have experienced that much injury from this sort of a knock. Like, I mean, the car could put for 2.5 foot maximum.
Right, yeah.
It was a tiny wee knock forward. I wasn't injured, and I'm the drivee into them. So that was alright. And he goes, oh, well, we'll just have to see it today. You might not even be needed. They might just tell you to go home. You just have to go to court on that day.
Yeah.
Happy days. Day rolled around. This was 2 weeks ago or something. At this point, and we go to court. Me and my dad. My dad didn't have to go, but he went anyway. So that was right. Went into court. The attorney come up to me and he goes, right, we're just going to have to go through some of these details. And he goes, have you got your picture, like, have we got the pictures of the car that you sent in? And I goes, no, they're not any of the pictures I took. I have the pictures on my phone. He took them, went into the whole thing about, well, how did you get that close to the car? And how is this? And blah, 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 right?
Mm.
And I explained, basically going to fucking, you know, like literally minute detail about everything. And he goes, you weren't injured and blah, blah, the whole thing. That was alright. So we got called into the room and your woman goes up, right? So, that's alright. She says her piece. Now, effectively, she didn't lie, I wouldn't say, but she said everything in terms of like what happened at the time. She said everything that happened.
Yeah.
Dead mirror image to my story, exactly what happened, right? So I was like, right, well, she's saying the truth so far anyway. So the boy was saying, so when did these pains come on? Oh, shortly, like towards the evening time, because they were going to a wedding. Towards the evening time of the wedding, and they had to leave early.
Right.
And she emphasised that if it hadn't happened, they would have stayed on later.
Right.
Like, I was thinking, well, that's irrelevant. The judge won't take that into consideration because it's literally irrelevant. The time that they choose to leave is the time they choose, and that's it. So she was saying she was experiencing these pains after the accident on the same day.
Aye.
And she went to the GP and she got these anti-inflammatories and these different things and these tablets anyway. And this pain went on for a couple of months or whatever, 6 weeks or something, and then it cleared up and all happy days, right?
Aye.
And you went through, what do you call it, therapy? What do you call that? Physical therapy, is it?
Right.
Or
Yeah, physical therapy. Aye.
yeah.
So heal after an accident. Aye.
Healthy, right?
Yeah.
So she said, oh yeah, I went through that, yeah. Okay, right. That was the guy that, so that's the prosecution.
Aye.
So the defence guy gets up, which is basically our side, Axe's side,
Yeah.
and he says, excuse me, so you say this happened, he literally tore her to bits. Bits.
Aye.
Absolute shreds. So he goes there, oh, so you say these things come on, and what did you went to your GP and you got the thing and all the rest of it, right?
You waited to
Yeah.
February.
Huh?
And then you waited to February.
Yeah, well, basically, yeah, you waited. So basically, that was the bit, the crux of the bit. That is like, if you had injury that day, why wouldn't you put it in straight away?
Yeah.
And you're like, I literally still have the stuff now.
You've plenty of time. Like.
You've kind of, you know, the doctor stuff is all fresh. It doesn't go on, all that kind of jazz. So basically, he goes, you got all these things, and there's a court doctor,
Yeah.
right? There's a court doctor, and basically he assesses you before you go into court and does a whole medical thing.
Aye.
If you're doing one of these things, and the court doctor gets paid by the court to do it.
Aye.
So she has to go there and do that. He goes, you seen Mr. X or Dr. X or whatever his name is, and you said to him, and he asked you, had you ever experienced any back injury before? And you said no, is that correct? And she said yes, that's right. And he goes, but you did experience back injury before. In fact, on such and such a date, basically 15 years ago,
Aye.
she had another accident at another roundabout, basically identical to this, and she had back pain that lasted a whole year.
Right. Interesting.
And you described this quite similarly to the pain that you're experiencing now.
Yeah.
She goes, oh, but that was 15 years ago. That didn't occur to me at the time to tell him. He goes, well, if you had spent a whole year, in pain, surely you would remember it.
Especially when it happened again, almost exactly the same.
Almost exactly the same.
And the doctor asks you, have you ever experienced back pain before?
And you say no.
You say no.
Right? So, she says no. And then she goes, well, it didn't occur to me to tell him. Alright, okay. So, you say you went through physical therapy. Now, was this advised by your GP?
Mm-hmm.
No, it wasn't. Was this advised by Dr. X?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, it wasn't. Oh, so did you went to a private clinic then? Oh no, I didn't.
Right.
Oh, so then how did you go through this physical therapy? Oh, it was a family friend.
Right.
Oh, so you must have been an appointment at their place of work and went to their place of work to get this treatment done.
Here we go.
No, they just come around to my house.
Yeah.
So they just come around to your house. And this is just a family friend. Yeah. Okay. And you said and you said this pain went on for X amount of months, and all this kind of stuff. And she went on about and she goes, and now this was very similar to this other accident, wasn't it? This thing about thinking you had this pain this time. She goes, yeah, 15 years ago. And he goes, and you had this exact back pain, very similar back pain to now. Yes, 15 years ago. And he goes, why do you keep saying 15 years ago? She goes, because you're making out like I'm some sort of serial person that sits at roundabouts just waiting for people to drive into them, which is just simply not true. I was like, straight away.
You lost. Done.
Straight away. First of all, you've got heated.
Yeah.
Second of all, you've lost your cool. Well, that's basically the same thing. Third of all, the fact that you say that screams to me that you do sit at roundabouts and hope people drive into you. Surely, do you know what I mean? Otherwise, you wouldn't be so defensive.
Yeah.
If that wasn't something you were defensive about, it wouldn't come into your mind to think like that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I was like, "You're done, love. You're done. If you had just kept it cool,
you'd have been grand.
if you had been honest with the doctor and all that, you might have actually got something out of this. But I'm convinced at this point, done."
Mm-hmm.
So that was alright. So he kind of pulled her to bits on the stand. She got up and she said she walked. She one of her things was that he goes, "Oh yeah, I couldn't do my thing. I couldn't do this." And I used to walk 5 or 6 miles every day. Let me tell you something. Now she does not walk 5 or 6 miles every day. Let me tell you.
Oh, right. Okay.
Not that she's fat. I'm not saying she's fat, but I'm just saying like I can tell. You can tell if you walk 5 or 6 miles every day, you'd be a skinny one.
Nah, it's not that hard.
Huh?
It's not that hard.
But I'm talking. But you need to be eating a lot.
Burn that minute, regardless.
Walking 5 or 6 miles every day is a good distance, like for walking every day. Like that would take you maybe an hour and a half every day, like walking. Anyway, I could tell that I think that was bullshit, to be honest, but who knows? Maybe she does. Anyway, so that was alright. I get up on the stand and I'm thinking, she's got heated, she's got this, she's got that. The defence guy has kind of grilled me already, so I'm expecting something. He started off by asking, so you work, don't you? Like the prosecution. You work. Yes, I do. I work in such and such a place and do this and do that. Okay, yes. But see, I thought he was going to go down the whole student route of student drivers don't care, they're lax, they're blah blah, they're this, they're that. So I was expecting her guy to get up and ask me, so do you work? And then I would say, well, no, I'm doing a master's. And then he'd start ripping into me that way. That's the route I thought he was going to go.
Yeah.
So I thought, I'm expecting him to go me this way and that way. I'm expecting him to twist me and turn me. And my stance is, I'm going to be cold, I'm going to be calculated, I'm going to answer the questions, dead, yes, no, any expletive that I want. I'm going to give him no emotion, I'm not going to get heated, I'm not going to go fall down the same trap. Right? So I sit on my stand on the place after she leaves, and the guy gets up and he goes, so, I can't remember what the first thing he said to me was, but he basically, one of the things he said, he goes, so, you accepted responsibility? And he goes, oh well, yes, I drove into the back car, so that's that. And he goes, that's my fault. And he goes, and it's not your place to say what she felt in the car.
Right.
And I goes, well, no, I don't know what you felt.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know what you felt. Well, obviously not. So, no. And was it? And he said something else, and I was just I can't remember what it was. It was just a simple question. It was like, there was no basic. My point was, he didn't ask me anything that would get me riled, which I was very surprised at. Defence gets up and he goes, how far was the car put forward? Put forward so many feet. He goes, how fast do you think you were going? That's what the other guy asked me as well. He goes, so how fast were you going? And I said, well, I was going between 5 and 10 mile an hour because obviously you're approaching a giveaway. You have to start slowing down in case you have to give way. So you're not going fast when you're approaching a giveaway anyway. So that's the estimated speed was between 5 and 10 mile an hour. How far did you put? And he goes, now, so the defence boy gets up and he says, so you put the car forward, so did it go across the white line? And he goes, well, it did go, I think it did go a bit across the white line, but it didn't obstruct the traffic coming roundabout. And he said, okay. And what did the impact feel to you? That was the guy. He goes, what did the impact, how did you feel the impact was? And I said, the emergency was, he goes, it didn't feel like that big of an impact. The emergency stop manoeuvre in your driving test is more of an impact, is more of a stop than what I felt in that time. And he said, okay. And the defence guy goes, so when you get through, would you say you were thrown forward into your seatbelt? And he goes, yes. Did the seatbelt lock? And I go, well, it didn't lock as if you had a big crash where it locks you and tightens you in. It just stopped me, and that's it, and it was loose again. He goes, okay. So went on, and Ken went in. I didn't get grilled that heavily. So I sat back down, and this is like thing. And so she says she was thrown forward into her seatbelt. And the defence boy gets up and he goes, now, if you're hit from behind, surely you're not thrown into your seatbelt. You're pushed backwards into your seat because it's a force from behind. So which means you would be felt pushed back. And that's it. So your seatbelt wouldn't lock. So you kind of grilled her on that too when she was up. So I was like, this is called a bits on her. It's bits. She's not getting anything. And the boy goes, he goes, I'm going to put forward this is a very mild accident, very similar to the one before, and blah blah blah, all the rest of it. Does his bit. Judge goes, right, blah blah blah, reads out his wee bit that he has written before the trial ever gets on. I feel like sufficient time has passed between the previous accident that it wouldn't occur to her to tell the doctor. I was gobsmacked at this point. I was like, oh my god. Like, he started off really well. I was like, yes, she's not getting anything. And then he turned. I was like, oh no. And it is like, I feel like it is 15 years is enough time to surpass. It's not. You would fucking remember. A car crash is traumatic. You would remember.
Especially if you were injured for an entire year.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on.
So, and he goes, she didn't, and so basically cut the whole thing down, everything the judge said, give her £3,000.
What?
£3,000.
3,000 quid.
I'm telling you. I was like, I was like, are you joking me? Are you joking me?
That's insane.
£3,000.
£3,000 for what?
I don't know, but apparently, I don't know this for certain, but we got a letter through the thing and it was like, basically we're not part of the court case anymore, and I think they're talking about, like, she might have to pay court fees out of that 3,000, so she probably won't come out with 1,000.
Right. And where's this 1,000 coming from?
AXA pays it.
Okay.
AXA pays it.
That's absolute insanity. That's class. Where would...
I know. I was like, I can't be bothered. My dad was like as typical young driver, old driver. Like, a young driver stands up against an old driver. You know, they're presumed to be like reckless, more reckless, and not as much experience and all the rest of it. And that's another thing. I wasn't asked how long I've been driving. No, I wasn't asked that. I wasn't asked my age. I wasn't asked what my occupation was. It basically, I think the whole thing was set up. Like, it's basically all decided before you walk in anyway.
It does sound as if they've made the decision already, because...
Oh, yeah, they do. Like, they do make it already. Like, unless something new comes out in the middle of the case that changes that decision, type of thing. I was gobsmacked, and the attorney goes to me when we were walking out and goes, "Becky, you thought you were going to get anything?"
Yeah.
And I goes, "Yeah, I think you went ham on her. You fucking tore her to bits."
Yeah.
He goes, "No, that's just what the insurers have to deal with."
Yeah.
Until the law gets better, basically.
Do you not have to sit and properly bite your tongue whenever you heard that? Do you not have to sit there and be like, okay?
Well, no, I'm not paying it. I would if I had to pay it.
Aye.
If I had to pay £3,000 for that, I would be furious. I would be fuming.
I object.
My point is, like, well, a point like this, if you were up in that sort of thing where you're liable, you'd be paying for your own attorney, like.
Yeah.
So, you know, that sort of way. So, but luckily we weren't, and it wasn't our thing. It was Axe. I was just a witness.
Aye.
So that was that. So what was your thing that you?
I don't remember. It's been 20 minutes.
You know,
Adolescent pop stars. You heard of Billie Eilish?
yes. I seen you do a cover of her song.
No, I love Billie Eilish. I think her tunes are class, and she's really different for like a pop star. Like, she's almost sort of anti-pop star. The whole gothic thing going on in her music videos are really gruesome.
I've seen her like knocking about. She's a bit of a weird doll. Totally up your street.
Aye. Now, she's 17. She's just turned
What?
7. She's just turned.
She
7.
looks older than 17.
I know, but she's just turned 17 years old, right? And it interests me. A lot of her lyrics are very like. So the lyrics to the song.
Please don't say they're already sexualized, are they?
Yeah, they are.
Oh, for fuck me.
But not in like the same way that you would.
Like Ariana Grande.
Not like that, but like so her.
Luckily she kind of calmed her roll a wee bit on the over sexualization. Oh, she has eye. She's not as bad as she was.
Maybe a bit.
She's not as bad as she was when she was running away with fucking Iggy Azalea and fucking what do you call her? Nicki Minaj.
Fair enough, I'll give you that. But yeah, so her new song that's out at the minute, it's called Bad Guy, and the whole point of the song is making you think that she's talking about like a real like douchebag guy.
Yeah.
And the twist, which ends up not being much of a twist, she literally says the word "I'm the bad guy," and then goes "duh," as if like you're idiots, you should have known that. There's nothing clever about this. But the chorus of that song is "Bruises on both my knees for you. Don't say thank you or please. I do what I want when I'm wanting to." And then, "So you're a tough guy, like a really rough guy, just can't get enough guy, chest always so puff guy. I'm that bad type, make your mama sad type, make your girlfriend mad type, might seduce your dad type. I'm the bad guy. I like it when you take control, even if you know that you don't own me, I let you play the role, I'll be your animal." Now,
So basically what you're saying is she's fucking a guy up the ring piece.
not really the point that I was trying to get to.
But that's what the first thing is like. So wait a minute. So if she's the bad guy, and obviously the chorus is from the partner's perspective.
No, she's taken the flip side of what a lot of these songs are about. There's a lot of songs by guys these days that are being like, "Yo girl, you gotta watch out for me because I'm my own man," like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'm a real like macho dude, like, and she's been like, "Yeah, whatever, man. You can say whatever you want, but I'm the one who's in control here. I'm the one manipulating you." Like,
Okay, yeah.
She's flipping it on its head.
Well, yeah.
like,
In fairness, girls rule and boys rule. Discussion.
That
is literally the point. Like
she is literally effective. She's effectively turning around and being like, "Yeah, you can think that you've got control, but
that's literally. But like, that is what girls do. That girls. That is the whole part of male-female attraction. I think I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. Like the whole part of it is females let the man feel like he makes all the choices. If you know what I mean. So they basically, the girl has decided whether, if you're in a club or whatever, or you're going to go with someone.
Oh please.
The girl has already decided whether you're going to get to it or not. And she has basically set up the scenarios already where you can approach her. So it feels like, from the guy's perspective, it feels like you're being a real macho guy, real confident, going up and sort of, you're wooing her and you're like, winning her over and stuff. You've already won her over by the fact that she's talking to you and all that kind of stuff, effectively, because she's already made the decision for herself, and she's laid out the trap, and you're right in the middle of it, but the trap's so big that you can't tell it's a trap. Not that it's a trap, but I'm only using that as a metaphor. So the girl has decided. So that comedian, what do you call her on Netflix?
Talking about the girl with the mad leather trousers.
Really long blonde hair. Her. She basically goes in this like a girl. It made me laugh. It's like he goes, guys think they have it all, but it's more like the girl's like, you should come over here. And he goes, yeah. I was like, I'll go over there. Like, you know, like that's it. Like, you know, it's like, you know, that's literally it. Like the girl's like, come with me. I think I should go with you. Yeah, you should. Like, you know what I mean? It's like,
it sounds like a very small, well, not a very small, but it sounds like just like a section of like how that sometimes works with some people. And
see, this is Graham again, boy.
but like you're just being like, oh, this is the way that it happens all the time.
Okay, I would say it is quite a lot of the time.
Like,
put it to you like this,
and
right?
you're taking that from like a comedian.
I'm a
whose
comedian.
whole thing is based off like.
Yeah, but comedy is based in truth.
Aye, but that doesn't based in truth. But that's her truth, and I can't believe that those words just came out of my mouth because I'm 24 and not 17, and like. But yes, that's her thing. It's her perspective.
This is what I drive him to. But my point is, if you're playing that role, right? The role is the man asks the girl. That's
Aye.
the societal role.
This is the stereotypical.
The stereotypical societal role of the male, right? Now, girls should ask guys more bluntly.
Yes.
But effectively, if you're playing that role, you're giving the girl the decision. You're giving her the decision anyway.
Yes, that's her. Yeah.
So if you ask her, here, I like you, I want to go out with you, whatever else, right? You're giving her the choice to say no or yes. The fact that you've even got to that point, one or two things going to be, she hasn't even clocked you. Not even clocked you.
Right.
At this point.
Right.
Which is probably, I would say, a good 80% of the time. If she hasn't clocked you and you go up and you approach her in that way, the answer's going to be no. Because she doesn't even fucking have a clue. She hasn't paid attention to you any part of the night. You know, you've seen her, you think she's unreal. There's no basis there for anything. There's no, other than the guy thinks she's hot and she literally doesn't have a clue. We all know that girls are on another level of attraction than males. They need more than just physical attraction. I think, quite a lot of them.
Yeah.
They need to see how you act. I think, like, this is going from, like, listening to, like, some girls go on about specific things that I'm getting this from. But basically, from my perspective, it feels like girls they need more than just what you look like. They need to see your temperament. They need to see, you know, they'll judge that from sort of paying attention to how you carry yourself throughout the course of an evening, if you're in a club or in a bar or whatever. Right? Or if you know them as a friend and you become more, a lot of friends like end up going with each other because they know each other, they know the temperament.
Yeah.
Those are the best relationships because you know.
Wow, that's a big leap to make.
They are the best ones. Sometimes they're not compatible.
That's not even vague. That's a just leap that you've just taken with
sometimes
no statistical evidence whatsoever.
I'm going on experience. Anecdotal evidence, yeah.
We have no room for this in this lab, lad. Take your anecdotal stuff and get out of my house.
Well, anecdotal has its place.
Has its place out of my house.
In law.
Sing.
In law, anecdotal evidence counts.
We're not in the courtroom anymore, bye.
Anyway, so they're the best races because, in my opinion, there you go. And I'm going, that's anecdotal evidence, but it's my opinion. I'm not saying they're all compatible. Which, you know, I'm not saying every single relationship, just because it's a good relationship doesn't mean that the two people are compatible together. He's cringing at fuck now, but like, my point is...
Have a stroke.
But you know what I mean? Like, you could think, oh fuck, this would be great because we're best mates. You go together and your relationship is designed to go to that level, therefore it doesn't work.
Aye, but that's fine, yeah. But you just said
but I mean
it
the
might
ones
be a
that,
good relationship, but they're just not compatible. And I'm like, that's literally
because
those two things are like not. That doesn't work.
Yeah,
it's
it does
only a
because
good relationship.
you have a good relationship as friends, but if you go to the next level, it's not compatible.
Right.
Therefore, it doesn't work. So, but the relationships that go together, that are friends, and then they move into more than friends, those relationships that last longer than just meeting someone normal, right? Unless you really click.
Anecdotally.
You obviously really click. Sometimes you really click with someone. There's the times where it's the soulmate syndrome. So, I found my soulmate, it was love at first sight, right? All that stuff. Those are things that happen spontaneous. You don't expect it, you meet someone, you just click, and both of you find it, and click, bang, you've clicked together, and that's it. Sometimes that happens. The other ones is familiarity. So, I'm familiar with you, I'm comfortable. We know about each other. I know what you like and you know what I like. We've talked on a more deep level. So it's like starting a relationship on fucking like 20th date. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So those are the two types, I feel.
Right, okay.
So the type that I'm talking about is the clicking one.
Right.
We clicked. We totally clicked.
Uh-huh.
You didn't totally click. The girl has already decided whether you're going to click.
Okay.
That's my point. That's what I think. Where did we get off? Oh yes, Billie Eilish.
Oh,
right.
I don't care anymore.
So Billie Eilish, go ahead.
Child. It's not even Billie Eilish. She's the latest in a long line of examples of child. She's a child. She's 17. She's not.
Yeah.
She's not an adult yet. Like.
Yeah.
She's just.
Put it like this: if one of us was to go with her and have a relationship, we'd be frowned upon by society.
Yes. So, just like, and she's just the latest in a long line of child pop stars that have like not overly sexualized lyrics, but like sexualized lyrics, and it begs the question to me of like, at what point does that kind of marketing become amoral?
Depends what your moral stance is.
Because like it's okay to.
Yeah, but you see, morality is.
It is flexible.
It's
for a lot of people.
It's it's a societal construct, really, because if you're going right, gonna take it right back into brass tacks.
Oh, here we go. Back in the days of the cavemen.
Well, he knows where I'm going.
Yeah.
Like, humans aren't designed to live to 100.
No. Monogamy is a very recent
I'm
concept.
not all about monogamy.
No,
if you want to be monogamous, I'm a big believer in monogamy, so I'm not going to go down that route. But my point is, if you take down the biology of humans in general, that, technically, me and Graham are OAPs at this point. If you take down the actual biology, it's root. It's only through medicine, through our own brains, through finding these cures and stuff, that we'd be able to push that barrier of life back and back.
Yeah.
Average age expectancy for a human is 40, not 100, nearly at this point. So when we hit puberty, i.e. 11, 12, in and around there, we will basically be able to have kids.
Yeah.
That is an adult in our biology. It's only society that's decided that adults are 18.
We've imposed that age.
Through imposing that age, we have crippled our development, crippled it right down. So essentially, a 10-year-old should have the working knowledge of an adult. Is my point. All this stuff about, you should let your child listen to Mozart and have really expressive, vibrant colours to improve their development. Right? That like by 5 they're out hunting. Back in the day.
But that's out of necessity rather than like.
Yeah, but
what's right developmentally for like someone.
Yeah, but how do you know what's right developmentally? If it's right back then through necessity.
It boils down to the environment.
It boils down to the environment, yes.
We're not in the environment where they need to be hunting at 5 years old, so why would you have that happen? They're much better off developing mentally, and the easiest way to do that at that age is to expose them to as many different things as humanly possible.
Exactly.
That's a totally right course of action.
Exposing them to as many things as possible, not fucking setting them down in front of the TV and letting them watch fucking television.
Oh no, that's absolutely ridiculous. That stunts the growth of like.
That's my point.
A substantial amount.
Education stunts your development. Everyone thinks education is meant to expand mind, learn more about things.
Actual education does.
Actual education does.
Specifically about our education
system. Yes, the current education system is designed to stunt it. Toddlers are playing with fucking bricks and stuff rather than actually starting to see things and learn from parents. And if more kids, put it like this, if more kids went to work with their parents rather than going into primary school, they'd learn more.
They would.
Quicker. They'd have a better working knowledge of the life, they'd have a better life knowledge, better utilisation of those things. So when you say the over-sexualisation of lyrics, and she's 17, technically, if you go on a biology standpoint, she's middle-aged.
Not now, she. So you keep.
Not today. Today she's not. She's still a kid.
Yeah.
But
so that's where we're standing right now.
That's where we're standing right now. She's a child. But
in society,
yeah. But what's my point is, right? She's still. I don't think That depends. There probably is a record company, but I don't think the record company's coming up there and saying, "Oh, by the way, make sure you have like about 10 punts for dicking this year." And about 15 of them like entering you as hard as they fucking can.
Okay.
You know, I don't think they're coming up there and
Calm down.
saying that. Do you know what I mean?
Like,
Do you know what I mean? Like, they're not doing that. She's writing it herself. It's from an adolescent's perspective. People at 17 are obsessed with sex.
some of them are.
Yeah, some of them aren't, really, you know.
That's what I'm here for, Chris. To like take that you're like,
Aye.
all 17-year-olds are looking to fuck everything, and then go.
But hormones
Some
are
of them-
raging.
Yeah, of course they are. Yeah, generally speaking. Yeah.
Generally, the mass populace, you know, generally.
Yes.
Like, you know, so, you know, now she's just expressing herself artistically. Let her write whatever fuck lyrics she wants.
Oh, right.
Do you know what I mean? Well, within reason. Don't be telling people to go out and fucking kill all the Jews or not like that there, but you know what I mean? Here's the thing. The cop come out. So, do you know what Boogie2988 is?
This is a YouTuber.
Yeah.
Don't
So,
know much about him. Beard.
yeah, overweight.
Yeah.
All that jazz. So, essentially, he went on a big journey of the weight loss and like I was watching a few, like I've seen all about him and I'm just never really that fussed, and I've seen a few things of him and stuff like that there, and basically his big child abuse problems and all that kind of shit, and but now he's like losing a load of weight and he's lost like 200 pounds or something, and like he's still losing weight and he got gastric bypass and he got all these things to help him lose weight, and he had a problem with his teeth, so he's like, basically my teeth are atrocious and I hate my teeth, and every time I smile I like do a closed lip smile because I don't like my teeth. He got brand new, do you know the things it's like the screw-ins? So he got all his teeth removed because they're all fucked, all of them were fucked.
Okay.
And like basically he's like, oh, I literally didn't have money for dentistry, because obviously dentistry in America is really expensive. So he's like, literally any tooth I had a problem, I just whipped it out myself.
Yeah.
Like teeth have disintegrated in the middle of a meeting and all that kind of shit. So he went and he's like, I'm getting new teeth today and it's fucking amazing, right? So shows the journey of him getting the new teeth, and the new teeth look fantastic. Fantastic, right?
Okay.
Unbelievable. So I was kind of looking at a few things and he's showing updates and blah 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 and happy days. Now he's had a problem with his weight for a long time and he started to lose it, and fair play to him that. But he was on this other podcast, H3H3,
Yes.
and on that podcast I think he was talking about his past relationships and all this kind of stuff, and this wee shit, right?
Who?
This doll, I don't even know her name, I fucking took, it just angered me a wee bit. She went on and was like, oh, I used to, like, why I now don't like Boogie, whatever.
Okay.
And he was like, I was like, what the fuck is it? Like, literally, the cub is the most, like, the most benign person to ever meet, like.
Yeah.
So basically, she was going on and like, so basically, one of the things he talks about in H3H3 was he dated a feeder.
Yeah.
So basically, her sexual turn on
I was him being.
was
really
him being really big and her making the make loads.
Yeah.
So, like, like, you know, and she was really skinny. So he was like, fucking, I get to eat and I get to have sex, fucking unreal. So naturally, he was kind of pretty happy for a period.
Yes.
Until he realised, and then he basically told her to get fucked.
Yeah.
So that happened, and then basically he was telling him a few of these dating type stories, and he basically was like, look, if I can get laid, you can get laid. Trust me.
Okay, yeah.
Basically was some of the things he was saying. And she kind of went in on him for this, and like started talking about all these really sleazy things, and like really started kind of like, I don't like him talking like that, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And I was like, right. And then she put up, apparently he's on a sugar daddy site.
Right.
Of like, where he can meet people.
Okay.
And I was like, right, well clearly he's on that because he has no self-esteem because of the weight, and he literally wants like anything for her. And apparently there's stuff about him on his Reddit Ask Me Anything thing. And like he's paid for women to spend time with him and stuff, which is fair enough. Like if you want to do that, go ahead.
You got the money and that's your thing.
Work away. Like, well,
Right.
or maybe if you just need that because, you know, like you just feel like you need it. So happy days. Like, but she kind of going in. She goes, "Oh, it's fine to do that there, but like, don't be getting angry when people leave you because you're obese size and like when you're on a sugar daddy site and they're only in it for financial gain, don't be getting annoyed." I said, "What do you mean? He's getting annoyed because it's rejection." Like, to me, that person has no clue about the inner workings of like someone with no self-esteem. You know what I mean?
Clearly.
Like, rejection is rejection. It doesn't matter if they were there for financial gain. There's a part of you that thinks they're not.
Yeah.
There's a part of you that wants to believe that, oh, she's here because she likes me, or
Yeah.
she wouldn't have come just for the money.
Particularly if that person's really good at their job and
Yeah.
can easily make you feel
Yeah, exactly.
like that.
So if someone leaves them, like from that, so she was like, "Oh, don't be doing it." And I just turned off the video. I was so, you're literally only there for the views. It's clickbait.
Yeah, of course it is.
And I was like, like, he's so non-assuming, and he's so like sort of middle of the road. He's so literally, this is me and that's it.
Yeah.
And he's very inspirational to anybody who's losing weight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the sheer amount that he's lost, like.
Yeah. You've lost quite a bit too.
Not 200 pounds. Like,
Not 200 pounds, but still.
like 70-ish maybe, something like that. Like 200. That's nothing short of like phenomenal. Like, that's ridiculous. So, I mean, how did he do it? Like, what was his thing?
He got back. I think he was losing weight gradually,
Aye.
but it wasn't fast enough for him, so he got
Yeah.
gastric bypass, and then that like literally he's dropping it now.
Just disappeared off him probably.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. No, it is. I don't know. I didn't see the video or nothing. I don't know who really it is, but like, it just sounds like.
She's tattoos all over. She just like looks an alternative type, but she's like literally like.
hateful.
Yeah, it was very hateful. I thought it was very hateful. And I just thought, like, why, like, if this stuff's out there already, it's out there for the people who want to find it. You don't have to throw it in people's face.
Yeah.
You know, just for your own financial gain. Like, it's so dirty. If you see this video, you're scum.
Oh yeah, she'll see it. Send it to her. Post this in reply to her. Oh, you didn't even do that. Shows how old I am. Is that
You can't
I
do it
still
anymore?
remember when you posted reply videos.
Do you have to do that anymore?
You can, but you can't do them like the way they used to like show up under the video. You don't do that anymore. You would just have to say like.
Oh, I've made a video, link it, sort of thing.
Same thing. Yeah, you'd have to do that.
Yeah. Well, that's it. Maybe we can share your story
What?
for inspiration.
What of losing weight?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, buckle up kids, here we go. Here's how to and how not to lose weight all wrapped into one.
Well, can you start at the start? So we'll start at the start. And
What's the start? When it was big?
so Graham was big.
Yeah. So
What weight were you in terms of like the heaviest you were?
just north of.
Are you okay talking about this, by the way?
Yeah. Just north of 16.5 stone at 5'7" ish.
Okay, so that's
So pretty big.
sorry, 16 and a half. So
yeah.
Graham, put it like that, Graham was heavier than I am now. I'm
That's
16.
about 4 inches shorter.
Yeah, well, I'm 6 foot and you're
5'8".
so
Just under 5'8". Like,
yeah,
so,
4 inches shorter.
Yeah, so 4 inches shorter and heavier. So.
And I'm considered overweight right now in terms of body mass index.
Oh, I was considered obese. Like,
Morbidly, no.
yeah, it said on the. Well, it depends on what BMI thing you use, but yeah, by the majority of them, it was morbidly so. It always bothered me, but I never really did. I didn't really do anything about it until I got to like. Started trying to do something about it when I was 15 or 16, just before I went to college. Nothing was really sticking. I got really big in college because I was going to tech, and it was the first time I was able to like buy my own like, food. Like outside.
Yeah.
It wasn't school or anything, or so it was just like a little Subway and all sorts of
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
And I was stupid about food as well. So I realized me and my friend realized we were getting like quite big, like bigger. We were like, right, we need to stop the Subways, man. Time to eat healthy, and we'd go and get like the meal deals out of like Sainsbury's because we thought it was better. And then one day I turned around and I was like, hold on, And I looked at the calories of the sandwich, and then I looked at the calories of the juice that I was drinking with it, because fruit juice is healthy, obviously. Like.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
it's just as bad, probably.
yeah, it's just as bad. Like it's sometimes more calories than Coke, and then I realised this adds up to more than Subway would have done. So I'm actually being worse. Fast forward.
University.
The university, and that's when I started like kind of.
Yeah, yeah. I remember you starting like, if sort of like. I can't specifically. I feel like you were gradually losing it towards the end of tech.
I was very slowly. I'd started to exercise with some sort of regularity, and it wasn't very efficient exercise. Like it was just I was cycling on a stationary bike.
And did you have anything sort of like pains
from being that big?
Yeah.
And my back always hurt. Like constantly, my lower back was always really sore, and I never really get attributed to anything. And then over time, I was like, "Your back's really sore because it's supporting like way more weight than it has to do." Yeah, my back hurt, my knees hurt. Walking for any extended period of time was quite. Even standing for any like significant period of time. Like I specifically remember going to a Metallica concert in Marley Park in Dublin and having to stand for like 5 hours and being like. I'm in incredible pain. I am tired standing, and then that was one of the many like small things.
Well, funny like this, like I get tired standing for like a length of a time in a concert. So
see, I don't anymore. I can stand all day. Like,
well, in fairness, now is like nothing compared to what you were doing.
Yeah.
So
fair enough.
Like I think I'm just lazy. I just don't like standing.
I just don't like standing.
But I still will do it. It's not even that bad. Like. Once I start, it's sort of like, it's because I'm not moving, it's kind of like, it's just stationary pain, it's not actual physical, like, I'm in agony, it's just like, fuck, I wish I could walk about a wee bit, and this wouldn't be as bad, but, as soon as I start walking, everyone's getting out, I'm fine, but, yeah, anyway.
Anyway, it all sort of came to a head on the day I was due to go to a concert in Belfast with you and Charlie, actually, it was elevated.
Yeah.
I went to see a doctor about losing some weight, and he sat there and right into my face just goes, like, you stay this weight, you're going to be dead. Like, way sooner than you want to. You're going to be dead incredibly young. Either, like, heart disease, or you'll get diabetes, or you'll have a stroke, or something's going to happen. You're morbidly obese. So, after that, started exercising.
Can you talk up a wee bit, because like I think it's literally barely picking you.
Oh yeah, fair enough. Yes, so after all of that, I started the exercise, started to like clean up the diet a bit. It wasn't very like, I was still eating the exact same amount of food, I just kind of tried to make it a little less...
does it really get really bad for you?
Bogging, like, and nothing really clicked with me until I started my second year of university, or just before I started the second year of university.
I remember this click. This click was a big click.
This was the one. This was like the magic, like kind of. It just happened.
I do remember you like basically when me and this is the same second year where the guy lived downstairs and killed it, or got killed or whatever. Yeah. This is like the same year, and I remember you at the very start. You're like, I'm doing running now.
Yeah. So it was 14 and a half. I was somewhere between 14 and a half to 15 stone, starting second year.
Yeah. So you had lost a wee bit at this point.
I lost about just like 2 stone, or just shy of.
Yeah, and it's funny how like you had lost a stone and I had lost a stone almost to the exact thing, because I lost a stone in first year too. So I went down. I was 16 in first year. And I went down to 15 or below 15, and that was really bad. I just didn't eat,
No, funny you should say that. So I discovered the magic formula of you're supposed to eat this many calories a day at your height. Yes, I figured this out due to a formula that you can get. It's not hard.
It was just like 18,000 or something, was it?
Yes, 18,000 was in and around what you're supposed to eat to like lose weight at the height that I was like, but. I discovered quite quickly that if you eat even less than that, you lose weight quicker. It's like magic. You don't eat, your body doesn't have the energy to sustain the size that you are, and you just lose weight.
It burns the fat, yeah.
And I also decided to start running because every other type of exercise was boring the life out of me, and I thought, I'd like to be a runner. A runner's the kind of person I'd like to be. All you do is you throw your shoes on, some shorts, t-shirt, out the door, done.
Happy days.
There's something like really simple and like, class about it. Running burns a lot of calories. Didn't know that. So I was maybe running like, once I got used to it, I was running maybe like, it wasn't that much, maybe like 10 miles a week. That's about 1,000 calories extra a week. I was barely eating. And
Yeah, I remember you barely eating.
just, I'm talking like skip breakfast.
Yeah,
Dinner time I would have
you were essentially intermittent fasting.
pretty much skip breakfast in and around 6 or 7 o'clock. I'd have like a tuna salad that I'd make. It wouldn't be a nice tuna salad. It would be like mixed leaves and tuna on top of the salad, and it would suck.
Yeah, I remember like your breakfast was literally like 20 grams of Greek yogurt
Yes.
or something, and I remember you putting it
On scale.
on a scale in the kitchen, and that was the day. I think I remember. Do you remember me saying this? I was like, are you sure?
That's enough.
Like, you know, sort of. Are you sure you know what you're doing?
Yeah.
Do you remember me saying that?
Not really.
I remember because I was like, right. So I remember because I asked. I was like, so you literally count everything you eat,
Literally.
and you're like, yeah.
Yep.
So you weigh every single thing. He's like, yeah. And how much you eating? And you were like, 1,400 calories a day. And I was like, and you're running, and you were going to the gym twice a day at this point.
Well, yeah.
So you done what is it, legs in the morning, fucking chest in the evening or something?
I would have done whatever routine it was I was on at the time, and then our other housemate Phil would have went to the gym, and I'd have been like, oh, I'll come with you, and I would have just done whatever random
Yeah.
thing that he done, and probably then sit on the stationary bike for an hour, because that's what Phil did as well. And it was just all like
Yeah, it was kind of a wee bit hard on it. And
incredible.
I kind of was like, this is like, I remember a month, like at the start of the month you were fat, and at the end of the month you were skinny, and I was like,
I started.
that's wild dangerous. I was like,
I can tell you the exact, not the exact dates to the day, but I can tell you on November of that year, I was 13 stone 13.
yeah,
So I'd lost another
cool.
a stone and a half, maybe, let's say, like almost. It was somewhere between 13 and a half to 14 stone. I was in there. Went home for Christmas, and I came back in January at 11 stone 7 pounds, and I just kept going down for the rest of that year. Eventually, at the start of third year, in August of that year, I was 9 stone 13 pounds.
And that was like what, 4 months?
Yes. So, in the space of a year, I lost.
Which is fast by any stretch of the means. Like that's fast. That's a fast drop in a
Pretty
year.
quick. Yeah.
From 15 to 9, that's 6 stone in a year. That's half a stone a month.
Now, just very quickly, as effective as that was, not the healthiest way to do it. I got really weak. I
remember you getting very tired.
Yeah, I was shattered. I was tired all the time. Once I stopped doing all that exercise, I started like eating loads because I'd been depriving myself of like nutrition basically.
And this was basically the summer before third year, which is when I started going to the gym.
So I started eating loads, and I still wasn't putting on weight because I think I had literally run myself into such a like energy deficit that like I was taking in food and it was just not. I was burning that many calories naturally by just living, that it just wasn't coming on, and I was like, what am I supposed to do? Like, what the hell happens? And the only thing that saved it for me was like going to the gym and like actually trying to lift something moderately heavy a couple of times a week, because it like
that would be you, wasn't it?
Yeah, it made me develop a way better relationship with food.
Yeah. By the way, like your latent strength was like ridiculous. It still is. You didn't know, like, if you're that size, you know, your body's kind of underneath all that, you're kind of toned up to deal with that weight. So when you lose weight and you start doing it, put it into lifting, like, you can start off by lifting quite a bit.
Now I was weak.
No, well, you were weak. You were weak before
I got to you. Like,
yeah, but your muscle memory, like,
it atrophied, but like within like a month or two, they just.
Yeah, you were exploding past me. Like, I think you kind of already started before I went. So you had a bit of knowledge, and I was looking on to you to start off, and I didn't have much knowledge at all at that point, and like I just remember you like you accelerated, and I was like, how the fuck is he doing this? And then I got stuck. I couldn't break 60 kg until Johnny Candido saved me. But you know, the bench that was 60 kg bench. Like, yeah, that was mental.
So yeah, basically,
in the words of our natty overlord, Scooby, eat a bit less, do a bit more.
Yeah, eat a bit less, move a bit more. Don't make it complicated. If that's not working, pay a bit more attention to what you're eating.
Like, there's no such thing as I can't.
Yeah, it doesn't exist. Like, you can do some pretty mad things with your body if you just put a bit of time and effort into it. So there we go.
There you go. And very quickly, you don't have to talk about this either, you don't want to, but
Excellent.
I was looking at a couple of other people, because obviously I watched Boogie, obviously I got linked more,
Yeah.
and there's other people who like lost a shit ton of weight too,
Yeah.
and then like sort of in those videos they were talking about loose skin,
Yeah.
and like, oh, I can't stop. So what's your sort of experience with that? Is it kind of like you don't give a fuck, or
Yeah,
does it tighten up, or
it tightens up a bit, but it's still there. I did care, and then after I went to America, I came back and I was like, I don't really care anymore. And these days, I take it more as like a. It sounds cheesy to say like a battle scar,
yeah,
but
yeah.
like
I know there's a few people that do that.
it's physical proof of
Your achievement.
something that I
See,
overcame or
I'd
achieved.
have to get rid of it.
Doesn't bother me very much.
Like, I know I have a bit of weight on at the minute, 9-10 to lose it, but like, if mine is to the extent of, well, I've kind of seen yours, but if mine is to the extent, yours isn't even that bad.
It's okay.
Yours is kind of barely noticeable.
All it really does is it means, I don't know how to describe it, but like say I was to decide that I want to see my abs, right?
Yeah.
Which for the record I just really don't care about,
Yeah.
because as long as I'm like fit physically,
Yeah, you have to build your body around the skin to make it stretch.
I have to either lose way more weight than would necessarily be very healthy for me to do in order for them to show through the little bit of skin that I still have,
Yeah.
or I would have to build an insane amount of like, well, not an insane amount, but a sizable amount of abdominal
In
muscle
the chest
for it to
and the
show,
shoulders to,
yeah,
to
for it
bulk
to
it up.
show through.
Yeah.
So it does it that way, like aesthetically speaking. Unless I like dedicate like a lot of time to it, I'm never gonna like. It's not gonna be very easy for me to ever like see my abs or anything like that.
Aye.
I've only ever really gotten close. So that, yeah, I guess that kind of annoyed me for a while when I was like really into like
It
lifting
just
weights.
for me, if it happens to me, it's like, fuck's sake, I've got rid of one eyesore and now I've got another eyesore.
There, yeah. Well,
So it's like-
treat it like an eyesore.
Like, I would treat it like an eyesore, and
Yeah.
for me, like, I'd be like, right, how much money is it going to take me to get a tummy tuck? You know, like at this point, like, just let me see the money. What is it? £30? No bother. Go and get it done. You know what I mean? Like, that literally would be no two ways about it. You know?
Then there's the surgical scar then as well. It just becomes one thing after
Yeah,
another.
but like, I can deal with a surgical scar.
It's the skin.
Yeah, it's the skin. To me, a surgical scar, because the surgical scar is like, what happened there? I had loose skin after I lost weight. Now it's not there anymore.
Yeah.
I'm happy. You know?
Yeah.
I think it's a fair trade-off.
No,
you know what I mean? Like for me,
yeah,
that would be a fair trade-off.
That makes sense.
So that's what I would do. But I did look into some of the side effects, and like, they're not great.
What of blue
well,
skin surgery?
Yeah, but yeah. Well, apparently, like if you get it, like it feels like for like the six weeks after, you have to sleep like with your knees up, so you don't put because if you lie down, you'll put strain on the stitches.
Yeah.
So until you recover, you have to sleep like that, and then basically for a year, your skin might not stretch back when you're walking, so you feel like you're always pulled forward.
Pulled forward, yeah.
So until your body kind of adjusts, like, you know, it could take up to a year.
Yeah.
And then there's obviously other things, like there could be welts and like you know, a fluid build up that you have to get removed.
Pass.
and stuff. So that side effect that may not happen could be anything happens. If you get a really good surgeon, you might have none of that.
Yeah.
So,
Nah.
but
I'm alright.
I live in hope that my tummy isn't that big.
Really doesn't matter. It's luck of the draw.
I know it is a luck of the draw, but my tummy isn't that big, so I'm hoping it'll not be too bad. I would expect a bit, obviously, but you know, the ones where I see it's really bad is when people's stomach is literally hanging down over the front of their trousers,
Aye.
which mine isn't, luckily enough. So I think hopefully if I lose it now, it should be sweet, and I don't have to do that, or whatever is there is like negligible.
Yeah.
So there you go. That was episode 5.
Educational and entertaining.
It is educational. That's what you get with us. Wee bit of fun, wee bit of education. Expand the mind.
But as usual,
Do your own research, people.
don't be sheep.
Abouts. Thanks for liking, commenting, subscribing. Follow us on our various social medias. Facebook, Twitter. We're on Spotify. This will be up on Spotify, iTunes, all the rest of them. Once it's edited, and enjoy your day or night.